right, hello, welcome to the Coffee Flower Lab here in Seattle. I'm Chef Chelsea, this is Chef Erin, coming to you live.
And look who's still here.
I know, I was about to say, I'm just as surprised as probably all of you are that I am still here. Baby has not come, and so I figured I might as well come and do what I can do to help educate the world about coffee flower.
Awesome. It's been a morning already. Chelsea, as we just mentioned, is here. It's life.
Yeah,
it's been a morning.
We're going past the due date, and that's okay.
That's all right. We are going to talk to you a little bit today about paleo items. We are part of a paleo diet, both keto and paleo, so I know that there's a big audience out there that falls into that category. We happen to have a CrossFit place right across the street, so I think they're going to get lucky today and they're going to benefit from what we make.
Yes, unfortunately today we can't crack jokes about sitting outside and eating ice cream. We're actually going to make food that they can enjoy.
Absolutely. And I am not completely well versed in the keto or paleo diet, but we are taking the recipe that I'm doing is actually from somebody who is. She is Andrea, or I'm sorry if it's Andrea or Andrea, that's one of those names that could go many different ways. Andrea at It Takes Time. This is a coffee cake, a paleo coffee cake that she developed using coffee flour. So I want to give her a big shout out. If you want to go visit her and her blog at ittakestime.com, she's got a really interesting story, not just about the diet, but her entire lifestyle. Really interesting.
Yeah, and I am doing a modification of a paleo brownie recipe that I found. So let's start, I guess.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want me to go ahead?
You go ahead. We don't know how long we're going to need to run out of here.
This is live. Anything can happen. So this is a really easy brownie recipe from start to finish. It's going to take about 30 minutes, and that includes bake time. Just a few ingredients, and I will get started. We're going to, in a mixing bowl, put everything together. We have 1 cup of almond butter.
Those are my favorite recipes, when you put everything together.
Mine too, it really is. You do need to use a paleo-friendly almond butter, which means either grind your own in the store, no added sugars, no added palm oil. Okay? Yes. So, 1 cup of almond butter, 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. Again, using the pure stuff and not the high fructose corn syrup stuff will keep it paleo. I have 1 egg. Right in. Thanks, Erin. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, regular unsweetened, and 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of coffee flour. So with this recipe, as how I modified it was just taking the amount of cocoa, splitting it in half, and replacing it with coffee flour. Then I have, let's see, write this down, 2 tablespoons of butter, which has been melted or softened, 1 teaspoon of stevia. You could probably use applesauce or another sweetener, or you can leave it out if it doesn't matter to you if your brownies are super sweet or not. Without it, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't appealing to my sweet tooth, my non-paleo diet sweet tooth. So I added a little bit in, plus a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And that is it. Easy, easy breezy. I'm gonna put it in our mixing bowl until it is very well incorporated and mixed together. Because there's no flours in this, you can't overmix it. Again, another thing I love about recipes.
I love it when they're foolproof.
Yeah.
So while that's mixing up, as always, I'm going to go over what is coffee flour. For those who may be joining us for the first time, or those who might need a refresher course, during the coffee harvest, the farmers are harvesting what's called the coffee cherry, which looks like this, and what they are after is the pit of that cherry, and that pit is what we have all grown up knowing as the coffee bean. So that goes on to be roasted, ground, and goes into your cup of morning joe. In the meantime, the fruit that surrounds that pit is often discarded, and it's a tremendous environmental hazard, and it shouldn't be, because everything has value. So here at Coffee Flour, we go in, we rescue that fruit, we stabilize it, dry it, mill it, and that becomes coffee flour. Again, you've heard us speak about the regular grind and the coarse grind. Here are examples of both. Now, in the brownies, I know you for sure want to use the regular grind because you you are substituting cocoa powder.
Yes.
In the coffee cake that I'm going to do, today I'm making it with the regular grind, which is the one that looks like the cocoa powder, but I bet you could make it with the coarse grind as well. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to.
Okay.
And you can get either of these. You can get them online. You can get them at markspantry.com. You can get them at nuts.com. And I believe nuts.com is starting to carry the coarse grind. If they're not, they will be soon. Or if you happen to have access to a Sprouts Farmers Market, you can go in and get the regular grind in their bulk section. And I believe you can even, if you search, you can even find some coffee flour on Amazon these days.
Oh, very cool.
So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. If you just want to say hi, don't hesitate. We love hearing from you out there. So that looks good. That looks like genuine brownie batter.
It does. So I have a 9x9 pan. I preheated the oven to 325. I'm going to just talk my way through this and then you can start.
Sure.
I know yours has a few steps, more steps than mine. So you'll scrape it all into the pan, press it down with your spoon, bake it at 325 for about 20 to 25 minutes, and it will look like a brownie when you pull it out.
That's good. And so Chelsea has some that she made earlier so that we could have a final completed product. And one of the things that I noticed that it has the paper on it, like a traditional
It
brownie
really does. And if you like the edges of the brownie pan, just cook it for a little bit longer. There are those that want the gooey center. There are ones that want the crispy edges. You get both with this recipe.
I'm going for the crispy edges. And for those who may be saying, what the heck is a paper on a brownie? It's that really thin layer on top that kind of crackles and crinkles and is a little bit lighter colored than the rest of the brownie and actually looks like paper. Thus the name, the paper on the brownie.
And it doesn't look like there's a lot of batter in this pan. You're going to think, what? It's just covering the bottom. It bakes up. They're beautiful when they're done. So,
That kind of reminds me of when we made the peanut butter protein bars.
yeah, it's kind of
Also
a texture
paleo.
of a date paste or something like that. But, as I said, it cooks up beautifully.
Those peanut butter bars were good. I'm going to make those again. So those are popping in the oven. I'm going to get started here. Excuse me, again, I'm making a paleo coffee cake. So another simple recipe, not as simple as dumping everything in the bowl at once. So I'm going to ask for your assistance on this.
Got it.
In a stand mixer, just like Chelsea was using, we have 115 grams or half a cup of room temperature or softened butter. Throw that in. We've got half a cup of yogurt. You can use whatever kind of yogurt you want. In the blog on It Takes Time, she used an almond yogurt. I today am using a honey yogurt just for the sweetness of it. So that goes in just like that. And then I've got 3 room temperature eggs. Eggs are going in. And a paddle attachment for you, my dear.
All right. I will pop this in the mixer.
Perfect, perfect. And then I didn't grab a big bowl, so I'm going to right now. As I said, it's been a morning already. So in a big bowl, we are going to combine 2 2/3 cup of almond flour, which is 260 grams. We've got 3/4 of a cup of sweetener. Paleo is non-refined sugar, if I am not mistaken. So this is a sweetener. Use any sweetener that you like. Typically it's the ones that are a 1-to-1 or a swap out 1-for-1 are the best. So that's 3/4 of a cup. That is a light sweetener. It's very fluffy and light. So 3/4 of a cup is only 17 grams. We have here 1/4 of a cup or 27 grams of coconut flour, which I know is huge in the paleo world. And we have the magic 1/3 cup or 40 grams of coffee flour that's going in.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump in and say that kind of an easy thing to remember when working with coffee flour and coconut flour is they both have the same absorption rate. And so if you are familiar with working with coconut flour, then working with coffee flour is going to be that much more simple for you.
Super easy.
Because, yes, the same absorption. You'll have to add about the same amount of liquid to your recipe modifications.
Another thing that I forgot was vanilla. So I'm going to grab the vanilla while you continue to mix.
Got it.
It's that easy. And we're just going to wing it. We're just going to put in about a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
So that was that. It's live television. We have 2 teaspoons of salt,
Okay. Okay.
2 teaspoons of baking powder with half a teaspoon of baking soda in there.
You want this in liquids?
I'm sorry, I do not. I want that in the dry.
All right.
If the liquids are all mixed up, now all the dry can go into the liquids.
Just
So,
about there.
so the people across the street are going to be very excited. They don't know this is coming. They're going to be very excited. All right, excellent. So that's just going to mix up really nicely, and it gets the texture of, it's an interesting texture. It's
Wet sand?
It's kind of like wet sand, yeah, damp sand, but it feels really nice and light when you touch it. So it's not like this heavy, murky, muddy wet sand. It's a really interesting texture.
Oh yeah, this looks great.
And it's that simple. It mixes up super, super quick. So in the blog on It Takes Time, this was made in a 9x9 pan, so it was actually a more like a cake that you cut and slice. I have opted to go for muffins this time because these are an easy grab and go. They're self-contained. I happen to like a good muffin. So in the bottom of mine, these are jumbo muffins here because I don't like to do anything little. I put some of the mix in the bottom. This is mix that I mixed up earlier just so I could get started. And in this bowl here, I have some of that same sweetener that I put in, and I have some cinnamon, and I have some coffee flour. And all I'm going to do is sprinkle a little bit on the first layer of muffin mix that I put in. And I would say I filled these up maybe a third of the way, quarter of the way. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of this mixture in, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab some more of this mix and put it right on top. And one of the things when I was making these muffins yesterday that I discovered, thank you, you're welcome, my portion scoop, my best friend, is that you kind of have to press it into the corners because it's not a regular muffin batter that's going to fill all the crevices and get into all the nooks and crannies. So you kind of want to press it around a little bit just to make sure that the cinnamon sugar mixture that you put in the middle is all covered up and the muffin batter / dough goes all the way to the edges. Just like that. So I'm going to continue filling these.
Okay. And I want to reiterate that if you want to see these recipes or any other recipes that we've shown you, please visit either our Facebook page at Coffee Flour, our Instagram at Coffee Flour Lab, or our webpage.
Twitter.
Oh, we do have Twitter.
We have Twitter. We've got our website.
Social media savvy.
We're very modern here.
If there's something that you want to see, like paleo, we've been asked, send us a recommendation, and we would love to try it out if we haven't already. Chances are we may already have a recipe that we are able to share.
That's right. Or if you have made something just like Andrea at It Takes Time did, throw it our way, and we are more than happy to make it to share your recipe and your idea with everybody else out there,
Yes.
so everybody can enjoy the labor, the fruits of your labor rather. So you can see that these are filled now. So it's one small layer of the batter, and then sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, and then topped with more of the batter. And I'm going to pop these in conveniently at a 325-degree oven, just like Chelsea had.
Perfect.
And the original recipe, again, because it was in a different form, said 35 minutes. This is about 25 minutes for these jumbo muffins, and we should be done. So I'm going to pull those out, or put these in, rather. And I happen to have those that I baked earlier, happen to have some right here. Now, one of the things that Andrea recommended at the end was that you pour, I'm going to grab a clean spoon here, is that you drizzle a little bit of melted butter on top, and there is nothing wrong with that. I like recipes that call for melted butter, any type of butter actually. So this will help give it a little bit of moisture. The butter has kind of hardened up a little bit, so I'm going to move that one out of the way. Another great thing that was recommended is to make a glaze or a frosting, and this is simply coconut cream and coconut milk that was whisked together. It has its own natural sweetness. It does have a little bit of coconut flavor, but it was surprisingly delicious. And this is coming from a gal that's not real big on coconut flavor. So if you want to just do a little frosting like that on top, you now, my friends, have a paleo muffin that is sweet, that is good for you. It falls in the paleo guidelines. It will carry you through your day. You're also doing good for the coffee growing regions by using coffee flour in it.
And these are some brownies that I made ahead of time, so you're able to see the fudgy consistency in the center. They bake up looking just like regular brownies.
They look like genuine traditional brownies.
No one will know.
Nobody will know. So if you happen to be watching across the street from us over at the CrossFit place, brace yourself because these are coming your way. If you are watching us anywhere else, go out and make these. Mm-hmm. Make any of the recipes that we have shown you using coffee flour and let us know how it goes. Yes. You can always you can backlog us on Facebook and see all of our videos, or you can go onto YouTube if you want to binge watch us.
That's right.
Binge watching is the best. So, once again, I am going to go ahead and say with confidence this time, this will most likely be Chelsea's last week for a little while.
Just a little while, but with that said, there's going to be some very interesting guest appearances, I imagine.
There will be some interesting guest appearances.
Yes.
Ooh, a little teaser there. And we will be doing some more conversations about coffee flour. Of course, we'll be doing more recipes with coffee flour, showing you how to make different things. Mm-hmm. But we will have some fresh faces on here.
Yes, don't be a stranger. Let us know how all of your recipe testing is going, what you want to see. Visit our social media pages, and thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.